The Walking Dead has many great characters, but it also has some pretty bad ones. So, I'm here today to give my opinion on who is goated and who is crazy from Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2. Obviously, Lee is S tier, no question about it. He is constantly handling everybody's problems in the first game. He saves Clementine's life over and over, and he taught Clementine how to survive in the apocalypse. Lee is the definition of S tier. We should all try to grow up to be like Lee. I'm telling you, S tier for days. Next, easy S tier is Clementine, because obviously, without her, season 2 would be completely unplayable. She carries that season on her back. Literally, Clementine has to do everything in season 2. It's crazy. She just fits perfectly in S tier. And honestly, Clementine and Lee might just be the only two S tier characters of the whole entire universe. They were just both written way too well, way too good. On the opposite side of the spectrum, though, Carlos, if you could even call him a doctor, Dr. Carlos is an F. My man can't even tell a dog bite from a zombie bite. So, is he even a real doctor? I don't freaking know. He's dumb. He also raised Sarah, who is just dumb, and then he expects Clementine to take responsibility for her. Like, no, man, that was your fault. Sarah sucks. Let's put her right next to F. That's also where Sarah belongs. She was useless, and so is Carlos. A couple of useless characters. The dog even served a better purpose than them, and he's a D. Just because he bit Clementine, obviously. Which I just can't ever wrap my head around how Carlos, the doctor, quote unquote, doesn't know a dog bite from a zombie bite. That he should be below F. Oh my gosh. That annoys me so much. Glenn though, Glenn's an A. Glenn is definitely an A. I wish he would have stayed longer. It really sucks he left. I think that's probably why he's not an S tier. Because he left and broke my heart. So an A is where I think he fits pretty good. That definitely just feels like the right spot. Man, I really wish he stayed longer. I think Lily's a C tier. Like, I like her character and I like her story. It's kind of interesting, but I just really hate the fact that she shoots Carly or Doug at just the dumbest time. Like, why couldn't we talk that situation out? Why you gotta go straight to shooting? Oh, it made me so mad. And, like, you get the choice to either leave her or take her, and if you take her, she steals your RV, which that sucks. But if you leave her, she comes back, I think, later on, or she just gets her fortune is just unknown. So we don't even really know what fully happens to her. She just sucks, though. C character, in my humble opinion. It makes sense that Lily wouldn't like the group after what happened with her dad, but still no reason to shoot Carly or Doug. That, she, horrible. Horrible. Someone who is not horrible, though, Luke. Luke is definitely A tier. I think he has to be A tier because, man, without him, season 2 would be a slog. I know I said Clementine carried it, but Luke actually helped a lot. He would actually help Clementine, and he made some good points. He did a couple of dumb things that wouldn't, like, that keeps him from S tier, and he's definitely not Lee tier. So I think A tier works good because, he's a pretty solid guy. I hate the way he dies. Oh, dude, he dies to some ice, bro. So sad. A tier for sure, though. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give B a B tier because I think he was supposed to be a really good character. He seemed like he was really chill. I thought he was gonna be kind of like Lee, really level-headed, really smart. But man, they kill him off way too quick, and we didn't get to see him a lot. So who knows who he could have been? But for the short time of him being there, I think he earned a B, no less, no more. He seems like a solid B character. Sucks to see him go so quick. A lot of these characters went out too quick, man. Someone who didn't go out quick enough though is Bonnie. Bonnie's a fat F. I do not like Bonnie at all. I don't know if anybody likes Bonnie. She sucks. She works for Carver. She showed up to the lodge and lied and then showed Carver where everybody was at. And she just plays dumb to the monster that Carver really is, bro. And then, oh man, she blames Clementine. She blames Clementine for getting Luke killed when Luke specifically said, no, don't come near me. The ice is breaking. Too much weight is going to break the ice. Kill the walkers. What does dumb Bonnie do? Dumb Bonnie walks over there trying to help Luke, adding more weight to the thinning ice or to the breaking ice. And they both fall through and Luke dies. I was so mad. And then she blames Clementine. Like, no, Bonnie, that was you. Bonnie's a fat F. She sucks. Enjoy F Bonnie. She's probably gonna be the lowest rated character on this list. Sorry about that rant. Also, Bonnie tries to just cover up the fact that Carver kills the one arm guy. Like, she's like, oh, maybe he had his reasons, blah, blah, I'm gonna go talk to him. Which, by the way, one arm guy, also an F. He can't teach for crap. If he would have taught Sarah better how to cut those blueberries, maybe he'd still be around. So, F tier. But man, yeah, Bonnie just tried to excuse Carver for killing him. It was weird. So, I mean, I think this F tier is a great list of characters so far. But we're gonna be adding to the D tier this time with Herschel. We don't get to see him too much. He was he was okay on the farm, but the one thing I didn't like about him is that even if you told him the truth, he still didn't believe you and he still doubted you, and he's still just a bit of an ass. So D tier feels right for Herschel, for sure. Another guy that's gonna join him in the D tier is Larry. He was a bit of an ass as well, but he was a lot more interesting than these F tier guys, and he actually helped push the plot a little bit forward. But I can't give him a C or a B because I just really despised Larry. After he punched Lee and left him for dead, that's not the way to go. I didn't like him beyond that part. And it's like, he knew he had a heart problem. Why would you go crazy in the meat locker, putting everybody at risk? You knew your daughter's in there. Maybe I shouldn't go crazy and pass out and leave me, like, put your daughter in that situation. You know, he could have just chilled out. I don't know. Larry's a solid D. I'm giving the guy that was shot by Nick on the bridge a C. He seemed like a chill dude. He's willing to help out, give us the supplies, and Nick just shot him. On the 5 seconds he was on screen, he made me chuckle, and he deserves a C spot. Good for him. Screw Nick. Speaking of Nick, Nick is an F tier. Way to join the F tier family, Nick. He does not help push the story forward at all. He immediately shoots at Clementine when you first meet him. He misses because he's a bad aim. But man, he's just awful, man. Nick's like another Ben, but season 2 version. And then shooting the bridge guy for no reason. And then he's like, oh, he drew on me. He didn't drew on you, Nick. You drew first. Get out of here. Seriously though, after they got back to Carver's and were captured, Nick didn't do anything to help the story. Same with Mike though. Mike didn't do a darn thing besides betray Clementine. He gets an F too. Mike and Nick were almost absent completely during season 2 and just popped up just to betray you and be an ass. Easy F characters for me. Arvo led the group to a broken down house across a dangerous lake that got Luke killed. That alone is an F tier. That alone, F tier easily. He also just kind of sucked as a villain, and he'll attack the group no matter what. You take the supplies from him or you let him have them, he'll still come back and be mad and attack the group. So, I mean, either way, he sucks. He's an ass. Easy F tier. Herschel's son seemed like an okay dude. He was smart about the zombies. He knew to barricade the farm. Easy D tier. It sucks how he died. I tried to save him a couple times over Duck, but yeah, I don't know. There's not much we know about him. Better than these F tier characters, so D tier fits perfect. He definitely didn't raise above it or nothing during his short time on screen. Someone who did raise above D tier though was Carly. She is definitely a B tier. I think that's an easy one. She was good with a gun, and she seemed pretty calm and collected in situations, and she never got on anyone's bad side. I guess besides Lily's, before she got shot. But she was pretty, reasonable for most parts. The only thing that keeps her from an A or an S is that she didn't know how to use batteries. She couldn't put the batteries right in the radio, and she flip flopped back and forth on whether Lee should tell the group about his past or not. That was kind of weird. But I really wish Carly stayed around for longer than she did. I think she got killed off at a dumb part. That kind of was sad. Also, she was Lee's first love interest. I don't think he ever got anyone after that, so I mean, that's sad. Russell from 400 Days is D tier. I didn't really care about him or his story, but better than Bonnie, that's for sure. And also during his story, you get to see Doug or Carly if you hide in the little ditch, so that was kind of cool. That's also a D tier category. I really didn't care about any of the 400 Days, really. Like, this girl, I can't remember her name. Her with their sister is also going with D tier. It was kind of cool because they had a raider come in and you had to decide the fate of the raider, and it'll change the group, whether if you kept them alive or not, like who died and who stayed alive. But It was okay. It wasn't like anything crazy. In the end, I did leave in the RV with her, but I didn't like the characters all that much there. The little sister kind of sucked. She kind of sucked. That's D tier for me. Easy. I think Chuck is a solid C tier. He definitely sacrificed himself to save Clementine's life, which is nice. He's pretty solid. He told Lee and Clementine that Clementine was gonna die, which made them like think like, oh, maybe we should actually make sure she doesn't. Let's cut that hair. Let's teach her how to use a gun. So that's pretty solid. I don't think I'd put him in the same category as B, but C seems pretty solid for that guy. Or I mean, as Carly, but yeah, we're good. I think C's good. I think who I will give a B though, I think is Omid. I think Omid is definitely a B character. He made me laugh a couple times. And there's like strictly one joke that I really want him here because he said it was when Lee throws that bust, or Kenny, he could throw it too, either one of them. He throws that bust when they're stuck in the attic, and Omid is like, dude, you ruined that dude's face. And that joke was just perfect timing, perfect delivery. I like it strictly because of that joke. He's going in a B. He made a lot of good laughs, and look at that face. Come on, you can't dislike Omid. I think B's great for him. Vernon, F tier, solid F tier. Even though he helped Lee get back to the house in the sewers, that ain't enough. He tried to take Clementine, wanted to convince you that she would be better off with him, even though that group is a bunch of old, sick people. Come on, man. And he also stole a boat from us. Vernon, easy F. Bree is also an F, his wife or something, because she immediately wanted Vernon to shoot Lee as soon as they met. Easy F for Bree. No talking or anything with her. Oh, shoot him, Vernon, shoot him. He's one of them. Even though I'm like, no, I'm not from Crawford. And she's like, he's lying, shoot him. Get out of here, Bree. F tier. I think Wyatt is a C tier character. I don't really care about him or his story in 400 Days, but I had the most fun with it. I also like playing rock, paper, scissors, and I like the two characters talking to each other back and forth in the car and all that. So I will give him a C. It's kind of sad that the best 400 Days character for me is a C. I don't even know if I'd give him a C. He's probably more a fringe high D, low C character, but I'll give him a C. Vince, though, I'm gonna go ahead and have to throw him in D. I don't really care about Vince. That bus was interesting, I guess, but I didn't really like any of the characters that you choose to save. So I mean, it's all right. You know, I'm actually gonna say I think Doug's a B tier. I'm not even gonna lie about that, cause honestly, he helps out a lot if you actually save him. He helps out by shining a laser pointer at one of the farmers. There's one point he helps out with fixing the RV. He helps you out in the front of the store, hacking those TVs. Doug actually pulls his weight. I actually appreciate Doug and the work he does. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw Doug in B. I think he's better than this C tier list. I'm still mad that Lily shot Carly and Doug, or either one. But yeah, I think B fits perfect for my boy Doug. A lot of people let him die. Crazy. I did too, but I mean, I think it wasn't as deserved. B tier for sure. I think Alvin's going to be a D tier character. He kind of gets bullied by Rebecca and does everything that she wants. And then he also makes Clementine like look after Rebecca. He's like, "Yo, can you get her food? Yo, can I get her water? Yo, can you do this?" It's like, bro, why are you making Clementine do everything when it should be you doing it for your wife? So I don't know. It's kind of weird there. But there is one point where Clementine is in the shed. If you go to try to get help, if you knock on the window and get Alvin's attention, Alvin will help Clementine. He'll get her a couple of things and a juice box. So I can't throw him an F. He helped Clementine. He goes a D for me. I'm gonna go ahead and throw Rebecca in the D tier category as well. She is really mean to Clementine pretty much the whole time until she really needs her help, and then she's like, "Oh, Clementine, I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I love you, but I don't know. I don't buy it. She's an ass. She sucks. But the only reason why she's not an F is because she gave birth to Alvin. If she didn't have Alvin, she'd be an F tier character for sure. But since she had Alvin, you could have fun in the D tier character or tier list. Also, I don't have Alvin on here. Speaking of him, he's obviously an S tier. I'd have Lee, Clementine, Alvin, S tier. Rebecca, D tier. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the St. John family together, and I'm going to throw all three of them under C category, just because it's a nifty concept, but you could tell from a mile away that they're bad people. Like, come on, just look at them. Sometimes the cover fits the book, you know what I mean? That's what covers are made for. So, it good concept, but too obvious, way too obvious. Even for like first time playing the game, you knew they were bad. The only thing that redeems them that I think is really good about them, I don't know why I said it twice like that, is that they came at the perfect time. The group was starving, the group was desperate. It was still really early on where they're willing to trust anybody and everybody, and they needed that food. And they had that promise of food right there at their fingertips. The St. John family came at the perfect time. It's very interesting, but it was just easily seen from a mile away. So it can't go higher than a C, but I think C middle of the road is perfect. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and give Kenny a B because he's a pretty solid guy. I like his traits. He's decent. But ever since he lost his family, bro, it went downhill for him. And a lot of things throughout the story, if you don't agree with Kenny on like everything, he gets mad at you at every which way. And there's like if you don't agree with him with Larry, he won't help you find Clementine. And like if you one disagreement with him, he just gets all combative and whiny and crazy. But he makes season two a bit more bearable too, because all the insanity that happens in season two, Kenny at least knows how to like not be insane. He looks sane in season two compared to all the other people. So I mean, Kenny gets a B. Also, I like the ending with Kenny and Clementine and AJ. I think that's the best ending in my opinion. So yeah, definitely B for my boy Kenny. But he's just too whiny to be an A, man. Too whiny. And just when stuff doesn't go his way, he flips. But Lee's not a yes man, dude. Lee is his own man. So I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get on Lee's level. It's hard to get an S tier, man. It's hard to get an A tier. So I don't know. B tier just fits perfect. I don't think I'm not defending this to nobody. Everybody I think agrees. I'm gonna have to go ahead and put Ben at D as well. I think even though he messed up over and over and over, and he was a constant liability to the group, he got Kenny's family killed, and he was just not an asset at all whatsoever. He did have a couple of interesting lines. The way Kenny goes out, he could sacrifice himself to try and save Ben. That was a cool part. You could drop Ben in the bell tower. That was cool. And then I really like that Ben also has that moment where he goes off on Kenny and kind of tells him off and what he says. I think that's a cool moment. So he earned the D tier spot because he's definitely better than all these F characters. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people would think Ben is F, but I don't know. He's more interesting than F tier for sure. I think Duck is gonna be F tier. He's just an annoying little kid that doesn't really do much besides like mess up. He got Herschel's son killed. I know he's just like a kid, you can't really blame him, but he's just kind of annoying. He does help Lee find the missing supplies, so maybe he's like a high F, almost D tier, but I don't really like him. I'll go through and reshuffle him how I think it all lines up at the end, but as of right now, he's gonna be sitting comfortably in F tier. I'm gonna have to put Katja right next to him in F tier. I just don't like Kenny's original family. I don't think they did much to progress the plot besides make him go crazy after they got bit and off herself. But I don't know. I just think they're F tier. They could have been written better, possibly. They didn't do too much, so F tier in my opinion. I like Sarita better. I think Sarita's probably she's probably a C tier, just because cutting off Sarita's arm was a lot of fun, and she had some good dialogue options, and she actually you know, I feel like did a lot more than Katja, I felt like. And strictly because cutting off her arm. So C tier for cut off her arm. Jane now. Jane is definitely an F tier. She is manipulative, whatever, and she pretends that AJ is dead just to piss Kenny off, and I hated that so much. Jane, easy F tier. I let Kenny kill her, and I walked away with Kenny. Horrible, horrible plan by Jane. I don't know what kind of sane person would do something like that. F tier. Krista could go in B tier. I think her and Omid were pretty chill. I think they were just trying to get by, live their life, and they just stumbled across us. And we're like, oh, you know what? Let's join. They seem pretty good. I like the two. I don't really blame her at all for like being all mad at Clem when Omid died. because Clem left her gun on the bathroom sink unattended. Why would you leave your gun unattended? That gun was used to kill Omid. So I mean, if Clem didn't leave it there, Omid could have possibly survived that. Who knows? I think she had a right to be mad, but she still stuck with Clem after all that, and they were all together. So Krista talked to Clem more than Kenny did. So if Kenny's a B, Krista's a B. I think that fits perfectly. Ooh, what a rhyme. To add on to that rhyme, Molly was a cooler version of Jane. So I think Molly, just for that, she's a C tier. She was actually using her brain by using the bells across the city to get the zombies' attention and just doing all that. That was smart, bro. She's actually using her brain. She knows how to use that ice pick. She saved Lee. I think it was Hilda that she called it. She was actually smart. We don't know if she survived or died or not. She left the group, and we don't know what happened. So, solid C tier character for me right there. I would probably put her closer to B, but I don't think she's on the level of these guys. C seems right. Mark is a C tier character. He brought food for the group in boxes and with his legs. And he also, when he was a zombie, he took out Brenda St. John. So he helped us while he was alive and dead and halfway. So, I mean, my man Mark deserves a C for chopped off legs as well. I think Walter is a D character, I mean a C character as well, just because him and Matthew, I think it was, the guy on the bridge, they were really good guys. They were actually helping survivors that would come through the bridge. They had a nice setup on the lodge. They were chilling with Kenny. I don't know. Walter seemed like a good dude, and I kind of like the fact that he has the choice of whether to keep Nick alive or not. If you tell him he's a good dude, like, yeah, Walter, Nick's a good dude, he'll save Nick. But if you're like, Walter, Nick sucks, Walter will let Nick die. So I kind of like that choice. We'll keep Walter in C tier. Troy. Troy's gonna go to D for douchebag. He was a good villain to hate, but he's just not one of my favorites at all. Easy D tier. Man, I did not like this guy. His death was kind of satisfying the way they got him. But yeah, D tier I think's easy because just an easy villain to hate. I think he did his job. So more better than the F tier, better than Carlos, the damn doctor. Quotation marks. Okay, so I think the bad guy in season 1 is easily a B tier. His story was pretty cool. I liked it. I like the fact that the group stole his station wagon full of supplies that caused his family to die. And like because of that, he found a way to get a hold of Clementine and he started to manipulate her and tell her all this stuff that she wanted to hear, like, oh, I got your parents, oh, I got a spot, oh, I got this, and that. And he just caused the story to move a lot and like or to move forward a lot. And he was just a really like menacing guy. When you're digging that hole, burying the boy and his dog, and he's just standing right there, I think that jump scared a good amount of people. He was a good villain with decent writing, and I like just how it all connected. So, easy B tier villain, very creepy. He kept his wife's head in a bag. So I mean, good villain. Easy B tier. I think Carver, on the other hand, is an easy C tier villain. Gonna be honest, he's just your off brand governor. And I really don't know how people stayed on his side after he killed that one armed guy. And straight up, why would anybody join him in hunting down a group of people that want nothing to do with him? Like, I get Rebecca has his child, but if she doesn't want to be with him, why would a group of people that are sane follow this man in going and capturing another group of people and bringing them back? What kind of sense does that make at all? Him and his group are a bunch of just crazies, which, I mean, I guess it's a crazy, terrifying point, which doesn't deserve D or C. I mean, D or F category, so D feels right. C feels right. Sorry, I'm getting these letters mixed up. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand how he rose to power. C feels correct. In my opinion, though, him in a real life situation would be overthrown in 2 seconds. He would never make it. But for the game, it was decent villain. Up until he got taken out by Clementine and like all that in 2 seconds. Literally, they hyped him up just for him to get taken out in like an episode. Okay, so I went ahead and rearranged them from best to worst, freaking Bonnie. And I think I'm pretty happy with this list. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments if you think I should have changed anything, if you disagree with it, if you agree with it. Just let me know. I'm excited to see what y'all think. I don't know if I'd change anything. I was looking over it pretty good. And yeah, this looks really good to me. So just thank you all for watching. Appreciate y'all. Go Broncos. Peace out. Have a great day.